Hello everyone and welcome back. So the compact SUV segment has one more entrant to it, which is this Skoda Kamiq. And Skoda seems to have done its homework quite well because it knows what the current buyer wants, and they basically provided everything, pretty much everything in this car in a brand new suit. So in today's video I'm going to be showing you all the interiors and the exteriors, and also we'll be testing this car by going on a drive in this Skoda Kamiq. Before we move forward, you know the drill. Please make sure to subscribe to this channel at the bottom, and also please make sure to press the notifications on so that you never miss any video updates from my channel. And also, here's my Instagram profile. Click on that, follow me so that you can follow all the behind the scene actions for whichever car that I get for the reviews. So the particular model that I am reviewing is the Skoda Kamiq Sport, and there are three different versions. So there is a base version and the mid, and this is the top of the line sport version. So in this you get this quite familiar looking newer design of the Skoda cars that you see nowadays, and it's actually looking very similar to a Kodiaq, if you notice, like a bit here and there, but yeah. And then there is this big black grille out here with the chrome surround, and then you get these LED headlight clustered, like divided between the two. So bottom one is the actual headlight, and this is the DRL, and also these DRLs turn into the turn signals, and also they have the cornering light inside them. At the bottom you would find this plain trim, plastic trim that goes from one end to the other, and at the bottom of that there is another silver color sort of trim that is given, but it's got these openings in between, kind of, you know, a splitter, but it's not really a splitter, it's just like a design piece that has been given at the bottom, which is silver color. So the Skoda Kamiq was launched in 2019, just after Skoda Scala was launched. So there are a lot of similarities between the two cars as well. You have these 18-inch Vigo black designed rims, and I'm not really a fan of these rims because yeah, they look a little bland to my taste, and I know these are for the aerodynamic purposes, yeah, but just other rim designs would rather look nice. And this is a fixed side mirror, but it's power adjustable, and it's also got the LED turn signal inside it. And there is also this silver strip that you see on the side, which is at the bottom, and these are keyless entry door handles. There's also the popular Skoda umbrella, which has been provided on the driver's side door. There's also a half chrome surround around these windows. There is also a silver color roof rails on top, and the roof is actually completely black because it's a panoramic sunroof. Like, it's a fixed panoramic sunroof, but I am going to come to that because it is one of the nicest ones that you will see. And those rims again, 18-inch, yeah, get rid of it. Now in the back, these tail lights actually look very similar to the Scala and the Kodiaq, and again they are also LED tail light cluster, and they have sequential turning lights in them. Even the headlights have the sequential turn signals, so yeah, both of them are completely LED. And when it comes to the visibility, it's pretty decent that way. And if these headrests are up, there's a little bit of obstructions, but that's all right. It's not that bad actually. There's quite a big visibility that way. And at the bottom you will see this silver color big piece at the bottom of the bumper. So yeah, that's actually quite big. And then these sort of fake exhaust tips that they've tried to show, but yeah, they are just covered out here. The actual exhaust tips are underneath. I mean, it's actually quite a big piece of plastic, silver color plastic, that they have put in the back. When it comes to the boot space, in the current setting you can put 400 liters of boot space. There is also a boot separator, which I had actually removed so that I can show you the boot space. There is also a spare wheel that you will find. So yeah, there is also space given for that. There are also scuff plates so that you don't damage your bumper. There are more straps out here so that you can tie your luggage, and then more hooks. And these rear seats are foldable in a ratio of 60:40. You can easily do it from here itself. Let me show you all. So the other seat is in folding because my bag is in that seat. So when these seats are folded down, you can put 1395 liters of boot space. Now the thing is, there's a bit of a step between the seats and the boot in the back. So there is another additional access, like a boot floor that raises up a little bit. You can get that one, and then you will have a flat boot space, and then you can load pretty much everything, like longer flatter objects into the back. And also, in order to make sure that the seat belts in the rear don't come in the way of these seats, there are special slots given next to the door. You can slide your seat belt into that so that they are out of the way when you fold down these seats. Well, on the inside you are greeted with a fair bit of plastic actually, but good amount of plastic, let me be honest, because everywhere you will find somewhat soft touch plastics. Wherever there are body parts that are going to touch, there they've made sure that you have soft touch plastics. And out here there's fabric out here. This is like a black combination that they've given for the interior. There's also this plastic panel which has like sort of dots on it, like the design on it, and it continues from one way to the other. There are these fancy door handles. Again, they also have this perforation on them. So yeah, there's lots of plastic at the bottom too. Again, out here, when it comes to the multi-information display, there is a 10.2-inch big virtual cockpit, what they call it, is a display where you can customize pretty much everything. It's such an elaborate thing. So you can change the setup on the dial itself, like the view of the dials, if you want a minimalist look, or if you want more information, or if you want a center dial. So you can easily just use the switches given on the steering wheel and change that. Then you can also see different information like your vehicle status, your driving data, your media, the different bits and notifications, and all of it by scrolling through the menu. So yeah, in terms of that, it's a pretty great display that way. When it comes to the steering, again, this is a perforated steering and leather covered, along with the black stitching with the flat bottom, and again it's got the chrome surround around the steering wheel. There's a lot of chrome surround that you will find everywhere in the cabin also. And the steering wheel is actually the newest design steering that you will find, and there was also one in the Superb. So you can click on the pop-up banner out here and you can watch the detailed review of the Skoda Superb. So yeah, this is very similar to that. And also the steering wheel is manually adjustable, which is your tilt and telescopic. Then on the right side you will find the controls to control that infotainment screen which I was talking about. There is also a scroller, there is a dial for it, and on the left side there are controls for your infotainment and the entertainment and also the communication. On this Skoda Kamiq you will find standard cruise control system, and in very Skoda style it has been mounted at the back side like a stake. Like all of that is pretty quality, although it's just made out of plastic, but yes, which is what I'm saying, like good amount of plastic that they have used. And when it comes to the air conditioning controls, again straightforward button operated controls are given on the air conditioning controls, and it's half also controlled from the screen. But there is this one issue which I found, and that is in the air conditioning system, if you want to change the fan speed, you actually have to go from the menu and then change it on screen. So yeah, the fan option is from the screen. So yeah, that is a bit of something which I found was a little tricky, because you may wonder where the buttons are, but it's actually inside the screen. And also you can control the air conditioning controls from the screen itself. You can change everything from your temperature, and it's a dual zone air conditioning control system that you get out here. There are also these aluminum pedals that you get as a part of the sport package. And when it comes to the storage, you can put like 1.5 liters of storage in the door cards on both the sides, and there is also a pad given out here underneath the air conditioning control, like a storage, so where you can put your phones or something. And also it's a wireless charger, so you can use it both ways, either to store phones or wallets and also to charge the phone. And there are also two cup holders out here, but that cup holder is right underneath this slidable center storage. So even there is like a small bit where I could put half a liter of storage in that center storage, like the armrest. And this is an extendable armrest, but it covers actually both the cup holders, like pretty much all of it. So yeah, when this is extended, it's going to be a little difficult finding your cups out here. There is also another small storage on the driver's side to put again your wallets or cards, and then there is this big glove box out here. In the back you can put like half a liter to 1 liter worth of bottle in the rear door cards, and then there are no cup holders for the rear passenger. Now the other thing which I wanted to mention was this panoramic sunroof. This is such a huge one. It extends from one end to the other, and it's just a fixed panoramic roof, but it looks absolutely fabulous. It makes the whole cabin feel very spacious and roomy. When it comes to the infotainment screen, it is an 8-inch Bolero infotainment system, and it's got everything on the screen itself, and there are like touch capacitive buttons on both the sides for your radio, your media, your menus, the phone app and car, and also on screen all the options. So it's quite easy to actually navigate through the system because it's pretty easy to use. That is, all the options right in front of you. It's just that occasionally, once in a while, that the screen tends to be a little slow, but most of the times it's super snappy. It's absolutely fast, and there is no navigation system that you get from this, but anyways, we are not going to use the navigation system that is given with the system. So in order to connect to this system, you can use the Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, Bluetooth, or the USB. And also you can use the maps because they are not provided on this infotainment screen, but instead you can connect it using the smart link systems, and then you can use your maps. You get 8-speaker music system on this Skoda Kamiq, and it's not a premium sound system or anything, but it sounds absolutely fabulous for some reason, because when I was listening, there were like clear bass and the treble that you can hear from the system, like pretty amazing. There are also dials given on both the sides for your volume and the different tracks and settings that you want to change. Now when it comes to the charging or the connectivity, there are 2 USB Type-C plugs given in the front for the front passengers, and 2 USB Type-C plugs given for the rear passenger, and then there is also a 12-volt power socket which has been given. When it comes to the seat, these are black color fabric and Alcantara seats, and they have this diamond quilting in the center and a fixed headrest, but these seats are very, very comfortable, and they have nice bit of support underneath the thigh too, so they are like quite long that way. And also they have these side support, so that they give you that extra bit of support during cornering. And these seats are manually adjustable, so the driver's side seat is 6-way manually adjustable, while the passenger seat is also 6-way manually adjustable. There is also a manual lumbar support that you can extend. There's like a lever, so you have to press that. It's a little up on the upside, so you can change that too. There's also a clip which is provided for your parking tickets. Now in the back, these seats are in my driving position, and you can see like there is fair bit of leg room and also enough of headroom for even someone who's 6 feet and above. So things are going to be pretty comfortable. The only thing is these seats are not adjustable, so you can't adjust the back support, and because these headrests are fixed, so there is only a bit of visibility from these seats. Otherwise you really have to lean on the side to get a view of the front. So because of these fixed headrests, and again you get plastic door cards in the back. There are rear AC vents given in the back. There is a bit of tunnel that goes in the center, but you can still sit in the middle because these are fabric seats. Although I am a little raised because there's a bit of a hump in between, but it's still comfortable because it's a fabric seat. And then you can extend your legs underneath the seat to get that extra bit of leg room during longer journeys, because these seats are manually controlled, so you get that extra bit of room. And also again in the back you get these black colored sporty design fabric seats, and they have this diamond quilting in the back. So there is no handrest in the rear seat, and as a result there are no cup holders for the rear passengers. But another thing is that there are 2 USB Type-C charging ports given in the front and the back, but there are no normal USB plugs that have been given. It's completely transformed into Type-C, so good luck finding newer cables for charging your phones. So the Skoda Kamiq Sport comes with a 1.6 liter 4-cylinder naturally aspirated petrol engine that produces 109 brake horsepower and 155 Newton meters of torque. And to be honest, this engine actually feels a little underpowered for this car, especially when it's clubbed to this 6-speed Tiptronic gearbox. So the power delivery, sometimes in a city it's alright, it's completely very well, like it will be like just about enough. But when you're on a highway and you suddenly want the power, it takes a little while to accelerate and then get going. So in terms of that, it feels a little underpowered. I wish there was the 1.5 liter turbocharged engine that was introduced out here. Maybe we will get in the future, but nonetheless the power delivery is pretty alright from the engine, and the gearbox itself is pretty smooth in terms of the shifts, although the gearing is a little longer, so it takes a little while to shift the gears. But when I put it into the sport mode, there is like from the gear shifter itself, you can put it in the sport mode. All it does is just extends the gear changing to higher RPM. But in that case, what happens is it's just dragging too much, the engine, and then there is after that a lot of engine noise. But yeah, in the comfortable mode it's just about fine. And also this 1.6 liter engine will do anywhere between 12 to 13 inside the city, and it can go up to 13 to 14. I've managed to do 13.8, but it can do up to 14 on a long run on a highway. So when it comes to the steering on this Kamiq is very well behaved, I would say, because it is somewhat pointy, and it's not really much waving around or trying to be, because I know I can actually read it from the steering wheel itself that what is going on the road itself. And actually the turning radius is very small on this one. It's pretty surprising, because I can literally do like a full 180-degree turn like on a 2-lane road. So yeah, that is pretty impressive in that case. When it comes to the suspension, it's on the softer side, and it gives you that comfortable ride, but at the same time there is very little roll on the car. So you get into the corner, it's pretty stable that way. The car, there's not much of a roll, so that's a pretty confidence inducing ride that you will have. Like, let me demonstrate you, like I'm currently trying to tackle. So yeah, it's really not that much of roll at all. In fact, it just maintains its grip quite well on the roads, and yeah, that way it's a pretty comfortable ride. Now when it comes to the brakes, there are 4 disc brakes on this Kamiq, and they perform actually quite well. They literally grip the moment you step on the brake pedal. Whoa. And the thing is, it's a little sensitive to my liking. Like, it's just immediately once you press the brake pedal, the braking action just immediately starts. And if you just are in an emergency situation, as you saw, there are also emergency signals that turn on when you suddenly press the brakes. Now when it comes to the noise out here, it's a pretty quiet cabin, I would say, because it's the quality of car that eventually decides how good the leakage of sound into the cabin is. Even though it's got this full panoramic roof, although it doesn't open, it's just a fixed roof, but still it is a very quiet place out here. Only thing is that there is a bit of a noise from the front side, but it's not unbearable, or it's not going to make your life difficult or anything. It's a pretty decently made car that way, and so yeah, it's pretty quiet out here. When it comes to the safety systems, the Skoda Kamiq comes with 2 front airbags for the driver and the passenger, 2 side airbags again for the driver and the passenger. There is also child ISOFIX points in both the rear seats, and it's also got a 5-star Euro NCAP certification. So yeah, it's a pretty safe car that way too. And there is also a single reversing camera system. The output from that is a little grainy, and in a darker places it tends to be a little saturated and blackish area, but it's still all right, because the camera is pretty smooth in terms of the delivery. So you are going to be seeing a lot of, although there are sensors also around the car, so on screen you will be able to see the warnings about the different objects around you. There is an auto parking feature that you get on this. It's kind of a semi-automatic parking. I've done one on the Skoda the Skoda Superb, a demonstration of that parking. So you can click on the pop-up banner out here, and then you can watch that too. And so this car has the similar one, so it will find everything for you and then park the car around for you. So when it comes to the pricing, the Skoda Kamiq the base model starts somewhere between 69,000 dirhams, and the top model goes to, which is this one, the sport one, goes to 83,000 dirhams. If you add optional extras like the leather seats and all, it goes to 85,000 and upwards. So I think the Kamiq is a bit of a fresh air in a market which is so crowded by so many compact SUVs. It becomes very difficult, and also all you need for a family car is comfort, practicality, space. Everything is here. And also the Skoda usually is a practical car. It's It's only now that with the Kamiq they've also proved that it can also be high tech, and also it can be offering you a lot more at the same price. So I think you should definitely consider this car when you're planning to buy a compact SUV. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. Give this video a thumbs up, and also make sure to subscribe to my channel by clicking out here. Make sure to press it, keep the notifications on, you know all the drill already. And if you want to watch more videos, then click here. I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye and take care.